Skynexx sponsors beats.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Dubk Dad. So tonight we're going to talk about market watch channels, the service they provide, and sometimes the despair they cause. And this is not to be a downer on those channels. Personally, I love VCTRFS, the Paisano himself. I catch every market watch on the way to work. And, I think Master Swag King does one, and occasionally House of Champ does it, MCO 40. I think they all provide an important service. But what I mean by despair is, there's a lot of us players who don't necessarily have disposable income to dump in a children's card game. I am not going to drop $450 on a prismatic rare Appaloosa. Were I to magically pack one, depending on if anyone has cash right there, if I open it at the card shop, it'll just go in my binder and I'll just sit on it. And you say, well, that's money. Yeah, but I look at it like this. Sometimes I collect cards for the memes, for the lulz, or I just like the artwork. Consider the fact that long ago, any of you longtime fans of the channel, remember that I had a collection of Misera de Villes, and I still have them, first edition. Those were like dollar binder special, not even that, like 25 cents. First edition, unplayed, because the card is unplayable. But the artwork on the card was amazing. I love the artwork on the card. Just the whole devil thing on there. And it was a secret rare. It was one of the most terrible, the worst secret rare you could pull. But I picked them up. I think I have like 20 copies, 25 cents each, just so I can fill up one of those 2x2 binders. And then I have some other meme-worthy cards in there as well, like Bitch Slap Hand, Judgment Hand, and Hinatama Flame. Just random ass cards I just thought were funny or cute or meme-worthy. I guess we didn't call them memes at the time. But I just thought that we're kind of trolly. And didn't have any real value, but they look cool, especially with Misera de Ville. It was still a secret rare. Now you look at the price of Misera de Ville. Lightly played first editions are like $10. Or I'm sorry, like lightly played unlimited is I think 5 to 10. Lightly played first edition. I don't know why the hell it's lightly played. Who the hell plays it? Or like 10, 15 maybe. But like near mint first editions are well over 40, $50. I think I saw one listed the other day for 150. I mean, the card is old. It's like Ancient Sanctuary. That ancient set. So I'm here to tell you that if you have a little patience, you too can have like a super blinged out binder. Because you got to realize, like, all the cards that are like amaze balls today are going to be trash tomorrow. And sometimes some of the cards that are trash today may not even be amaze balls tomorrow. But the fact that they were secret rare, original print, first edition, quantities become scarce, yada, 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 how the market works, they just gain intrinsic value. And then when you do find those like meme-worthy cards picked up for the lulz, make sure you get the highest rarity. When you at your card shop, when you're doing trades, you see a crazy first edition secret rare that's worth nothing. Say, hey, throw that in. Throw that in. Like lava golems. I used to have like half a binder full of lava golems because it was just like a joke, just like here's a cookie, because you would give it to your opponent. and you summon it in defense mode to your opponent's side of the field. And you're like, here's a cookie. And it was just a meme between me and the guys, and I picked up lots of them, and they were like dollars. And now first edition near mint lava golems, I think, are like $40, and I picked them up for dollars all those years ago, over 10 years ago. And again, I know you guys, I don't want to wait that long for the cards to gain value, but why not? What else are you doing? You're not you. We've just spoke about how we don't necessarily have the disposable income to dump money into this card game, but long term, maybe not 10 years, maybe just a couple years. I still have a lot of my original cards from Dandy Warrior format, like the first edition Scrap Dragon, first edition Drill Warriors, all those cards, first edition. They're lightly played because, I played during that time, but they're still in very good condition. And those cards are worth money, $12 to $17 now. But just a couple years ago, you could have easily picked those up for a couple bucks. And one of the hints I want to give is this. Cards that saw massive, massive competitive play. I mean, I'm talking like dominating like the top, 16 of a major event. You go back in time, you go back and check out old deck lists, and you pick those up. You don't have to pick up like handfuls. You don't have to be crazy like me and pick up a binder full, but maybe a play set, or maybe just one. And then just sit on it, just hold it. Because just like goats, those old format, people have a little nostalgia and go a little crazy, and they go back and scoop up all those goat format cards, spiking the prices. That's now happening with other eras. I recently started to pick up wind-up cards. So I got my ultimate wind-up carrier, Zen Mighty. I got my sharks. I'm in the process of trying to get some secret rare first edition wind-up rabbits. All those cards while they're cheap. Because one day, just like people are heavily invested in goats, somebody might decide, hey, let's play wind-up format. Let's play Dino Rabbit format. Let's play Edison format. And I know a lot of people who play Edison format. That was I think that was the Tengu format. So, it might be worth it to pick up secret rare tour guides. They're kind of pricey, but they're not the $100 some odd they were. And should tour guide ever come off the list, you got instant money. And then consider the fact that when tour guide went to one, it dropped down to like $20. And then it's been rising ever since, because again, market, scarcity, etc. Sometimes you go into a card shop that's like maybe they're focused on a different card game. Maybe it's like primarily Pokemon or primarily Magic the Gathering, or it's a magazine or it's a comic book store that sells cards on the side. They don't necessarily keep up with the prices. It's something I used to do, something I should probably start doing again. Picked up a play set of Hobby League Noblemen of Crossouts. They're like 20 something bucks, but they had them in a dollar binder. This was years ago. But they had them in a dollar binder, and at the time, I think they were maybe worth $5 a piece. I picked them up for dollars. Now they're worth $20 because of GOAT players. You think about cards now. I look at Cap Shell. Excuse me. Cap Shell, I think, is listing for like $2. Like shortly after sneak peek, it had a high of like $5, and now it's $2. No one sees the potential in that card. No one's found a way to break it, or people who have found a way to break it aren't gonna, show their hand, so to speak, until the first major event. Personally, I see the card uh, good in a deck like Shadal's. Could you imagine your opponent has an extra deck monster out, and you activate Shadal Fusion, sending Cap Shell and Dragon? That's you're drawing 2 cards, so it's a +1 or +2 actually. So you get a +2. I mean, that's to me that's ridiculous, and it gives you like so much to play with. Summon Dinko Seka, activate Shadal Fusion, sending Cap Shell and Dragon. Then you can pop off. I mean, I don't know. That just sounds really cool to me. Or maybe you don't summon Dinko Seka. Maybe you have Red Reboot, and you just pop off from there. In addition to that, normal summon Cap Shell, link it off for All Mirage, draw a card. One of my favorite cards, Junk Synchron. Once it's in the grave, as a follow-up, summon Junk Synchron. I'll revive it. Link 2. Synchro summon for level 5. Summon Debris Dragon. Same thing, Link 2 or Synchro summon to Coral Dragon. Discard a card, pop a card, link off the Coral Dragon with something else, draw an additional card. I don't know. For me, the card has plays for days, and people aren't seeing the value in it. Those are the kind of things you're looking for. On top of the fact that there's still first editions, there's lots of them out there. It's a secret rare. May have hidden potential. It could flop. Maybe it won't work. The idea, but I guarantee you, several years from now, it won't be worth $2. I'm sure it'll be worth over $10 at the very least. And then that's just one more card you can have to bling out your binder so you can flex a little bit. And again, you won't have the newest of the cards. But you consider a card like Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, with potentially Master Rule 5 around the corner, Master Rule 6, Master Rule 7 on down the line, where no one's playing links. What would be the purpose of Phantasme? Should that card drop down like Max C Secret Rare once did, or Tour Guide Secret Rare once did? You pick it up, you pick a play set up, and you sit on it. And then in that new generation of Master Rule 7, people say, oh, let's play Link format. Oh, Gumblar? No. Spiral? No. Let's play Salmon Great Mirrors. And all of a sudden, for no godly reason, Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, which sees no play because no one's playing links anymore, skyrockets back up because, all these dweebs are playing, old formats. They're playing Salmon Great format, in whatever era that we're in. Maybe we have red cards in the extra deck, or green, dark green cards, or lime green cards in the extra deck, or pink cards in the extra deck by that time. So, those are my thoughts on that. That's how you can build a binder. That's how you can acquire. It takes a little bit more patience. Don't have so much contempt for the people who have really nice blinged out binders, who can drop the money to acquire those expensive cards. Just take your time, slow and steady. Pick up a random secret rare there, random ultimate rares that no one values at the time. Charcoal and Pachi, DD Survivor. That no one sees the value. They don't know the real value of it, because we all know those cards rise in price over time. Another card that I'm currently picking up every time I see it are Ultimate Rare Blue Eyes Dragons. And I have several of those. I have several ultimate. Uh, the name escapes me right now, but it's one of the main cards from the Zexal era. I think they came in a pack where like all of them were ultimate rare. And I can't. It's some magician. He modulates his level. I'm sure someone in the comments will tell me what it is. But I have several of those. They're worth nothing right now, but it is an ultimate rare. You know, just one of a kind printing. And while it's been a few years, who knows, in a few years more, it could be worth money. I have a page of them. That's 9, 3x3 binder. I have a page of them. I think they cost me 10 cents a piece. So I lost nothing, really. But one day they might be worth something. And even if they're not worth anything, it's still a beautiful card. It's still a beautiful ultimate rare. As is something else I can put, in my bling binder, in my money binder, to make it look nice. Tell me what you think. Are there any cards that you picked up just for the lulz, just for the meme, and lo and behold, it suddenly has value? I'll be interested to know. Maybe perhaps share some of your stories. Because I tell you, a lot of cards that don't see play now, especially out of these last couple of sets, could potentially see play later on. Look at spirals, how cheap they were, and then all of a sudden they spiked because they got the appropriate support. And again, I want to warn you, don't look at that as an investment. If you already don't have the disposable income to chase after the prismatic secret rare Appalosas or the Phantasmes or, right now Chaos Dragon Legionnaire is starting to spike in price. Don't worry about that. Pick up one or two of those, pick up one or two cap shells at $2 a piece. It's a first edition secret rare. You can put it in your binder, your binder that you flex with, not that you necessarily trade out of. Pick up those random ultimate blue eyes white dragons that came as some kind of special edition, that are in a lot of shops, dollar binders. Because low key, those cards are like $7. The card shops have them in their dollar binder, and they're low key like $7. Well, that's all I got for you guys tonight. It's Dubk Dad. I'm out.